What's up guys, War History Geek here, and welcome back to another item highlight video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the M1915 30 caliber ammo box developed for the Colt Vickers machine gun. So unfortunately there isn't a lot of information about these boxes out there, so I figured since I got this box, I would make a video about it. So, as I said, this was developed in 1915 by Colt to go with their Vickers machine gun. And this machine gun was a 30 caliber water-cooled machine gun and became the most commonly used machine gun for U.S. expeditionary forces in World War I, as it was used by 13 U.S. divisions. By the end of the war, approximately 7,600 guns were fielded. And that was about by the end of 1918. So the very first variant, the Maxim gun, was introduced in 1887. And this was like a very, very early modern, quote-unquote, modern machine gun for the era. And it revolutionized the era of machine guns as... I mean, you have to consider the most recent machine gun, at least used by the U.S. Armed Forces before that, at least on a wide scale, was the Maxim gun. And you have to keep in mind, this far outclassed the hand-cranked guns like the Gatling gun. So, preceding this gun was, preceding the introduction of the Colt Vickers machine gun, the U.S. had previously been using just kind of a mishmash of machine guns, including the Colt Browning M1895, the Maxim M1904, the Benet Merci M1909, and the Lewis Light Machine Gun, among others. And this was put down once the U.S. Ordnance Department began searching for a new machine gun to replace the mixtures of designs and streamline their acquisitions, and then also, you know, just taking care of getting ammunition for machine guns. The model the U.S. would finally adopt in 1914 was the improved model of the original Vickers machine gun, built by Vickers. So by late 1918, the U.S. Army replaced the M1915 with the Colt Browning M1917, and there is a box that goes along with that is usually, when you research the First World War, is what you see as the most common box. However, this box here was the first standard issue U.S. Army, or just U.S. military in general, machine gun ammo box. So, by the end of its production, some 12,175 guns were produced. But today, due to loss in action, Lend-Lease, and shipments to Britain in World War II, along with the loss of our stocks in the Philippines during the early Pacific campaign, these guns are pretty rare in modern day, as well as these boxes. These boxes are relatively uncommon. I've seen maybe a couple total come up to market online. And as I said, more commonly you'll see that M1917 box. However, these boxes are different, and I'll highlight that now. So, the boxes here are made of oak, locked together with finger joints, as you can see here, along the sides, also known as box joints. And as you can see, it's fitted with brass hardware and a leather handle, and were originally painted in OD green or olive green, and can hold up to 250 rounds. And that is belted, of course. Now, where this differs from the M1917 box is that these are slightly longer, as these belts had metal bars riveted into the fabric, so just for strength, to hold it together as it's traveling through the machine gun. So this example here was painted up for the American Legion Post 309 in Maple Heights, Ohio, and was likely on display there at one time until I purchased it for $20 at an antique mall, actually relatively close to that area. So it's possible that they remodeled, or they just were tired of having some of the things on display around, so they decided to, who knows, maybe someone from the post brought it home, they passed away, and then it ended up being sold, or somebody bought it from them and put it in the antique mall. But, you know, who really knows? On ordinary boxes, you would see a 3-round design painted on the bottom of the inside to show the direction of the rounds, and I'll have a picture of that up here. And unfortunately, like I said, mine was repainted at some point. So this is the paint scheme that we have. You can see in some places where the original green is still poking through. However, this is the way I'm going to leave it. And some people would go for restoring it as, it's not really doing much historically wise in terms of World War I usage by being painted like this. However, I think it's part of the history of the box, and that's part of why I collect, is that's to preserve the history of each individual item as well as the conflicts as a whole. So being part of an American Legion post is part of its military history. So at the moment, I am going to leave it this way. So now to give you a closer look, even though I've probably put up several pictures now, as you can see here, I'm just going to turn it around. You have the box joints. Here you can see the brass fitting. And it's pretty interesting. You click the button up here and it opens up. Moving it around to the top, you can see the brass fittings I was talking about earlier. You have the hinge there. You have your leather handle in the middle. And on the far end here, you have the brass latch, which is very interesting from the World War II boxes that you see. It's just a button here, which is understandably more difficult than the latches that they put on the later boxes. Now, flipping it around to the other side here, unfortunately, there has been a significant amount of paint loss on this side. And who knows? It could have been dropped, scratched. This could have been the side exposed when it was on display. So this could have been exposed to water, cigarette smoke, anything that could have caused this. Fortunately, the wood is still relatively stable. There's not much warping or cracking or anything like that. So the box is maintaining its original form. However, like I said, the original paint is mostly lost on this side. You can see right here a little bit of green showing through. In fact, I'll pick up the camera and show you guys. You might not even be able to notice it on camera. It's very hard to notice. There's just a very faint green tint in there. So, very interesting box. I was very happy to add it to the collection, even though it's in just really appalling shape when it comes to paint. The box itself still exists. I mean, you're talking about being over 100 years old at this point. It's incredible that it's still around today, especially a box of this rarity that wasn't around for a significant length of time in the service. These pretty much would have been completely phased out when they introduced the M1917 box. So, yes, just a very interesting box. There wasn't many resources on it. I remember when I originally purchased this was several years ago. This was extremely difficult to research. I was very fortunate that I was able to identify what it was. I still remember when I purchased this, I had the feeling it had something to do with military. It struck me as a military box. So I decided to purchase it, take the risk. It was only $20. And fortunately, it definitely paid off. I managed to get my hands on just a really amazing box. Yeah, so that's just about all for this video. I've pretty much covered all the history that comes with this box. If there are any more resources or information that you guys feel that I missed, make sure to leave it down in the comments so that I can use that for my personal research as well as possibly revisiting this box. A nice short video as well, so if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, and when you're in that area, please consider hitting the subscription button and notification bell. I have plenty of other videos just like this coming in the near future where we're going to take a look at more obscure items, and then also maybe some more common items, just to give some general information on military history. So like I said, that's all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.